What's going on, guys? This is Jeff with Philippines Through My Eyes. Today I want to talk about 10 reasons you should move to the Philippines. I'm talking to those from the West. I'm talking to those who have the possibility of being a digital nomad, people who are tired of the Western grind and the Western mindset behind things. Uh, you know, I want to encourage you as you're thinking about moving. Do I move out of my state? Do I move out of these? Move to the Philippines. Why? 10 reasons. Number one, affordable housing. It is a fraction of the cost to live in the Philippines. You can elevate your status of living if you move to the Philippines just simply off of your affordable housing. Number two, you can have vacations all around the Philippines. You could do staycations. You could do days or just the day trip into the resort. You can spend time anywhere from the mountains to the ocean, snorkeling, scuba diving, surfing, just simply going to the beach with your family. You can go up to the mountains. You can camp. You could just go to the beach resorts and swim in a swimming pool if you so choose. There are so many great places to go. So staycations and vacations within the Philippines is another great reason to move to the Philippines. Number three, you can easily build community. Community and relationships are a support group. You can build that in the Philippines between the locals and the expat communities. You say, why would I want to move there and be with other foreigners? Because it is good to be around those who understand your thinking, because there will be differences, and those people will help you go through situations. They'll help you with transitions, but then also your Filipino friends, those around you who can help you, who are locals. You can build that, because out in the West it is very difficult to build community or a support group around you, because we are constantly grinding and pushing just to pay our bills. Next is the extremely affordable visas. You can go just on a tourist visa and renew and renew and renew up to 36 months, then leave for just one day and then come back into the country and start it all over again. If that's not easy, I don't know what is. That is the one of the visas. There's retirement visas for pensions. There is marital visas. There are so many ways that you can stay in the Philippines for long term. Next is affordable private schools. For those with families, you might desire to take your kids out of the West for the public school systems. Currently, I have one child that's in private school. Another one will be joining in the next year. And why do I have them in private schools? Because the public school system is pushing a lot of perversion and trying to take the innocence from our children, and I'm just not comfortable with that. I'm not here to rip on our public school system. I'm so grateful for our teachers, but I've chosen to invest in my children by putting them in private school. Why? Because I believe they will get a better education with less distractions, and I believe it is worth the investment. But in the Philippines, it is much, much cheaper. It is taught in English, and they will be taught other languages as well. Tagalog, sometimes Chinese or Japanese or different languages as well. And next, you can get away from the constant pressures of the West. In the West, we constantly have pressure on us to level up and to keep up with the Joneses and for our 401k and our retirements and everything else. Well, how many houses do you have? How many cars do you have? How many of what? All things that are fleeting, all things that'll break one day or lose their value immediately when you purchase them. We don't receive the pressures in the Philippines like you do in the West. So you will get away from the constant pressure of the Western philosophy of life. And next, you can easily travel throughout Asia from Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Cambodia, Japan, China, you name it, even down to Australia. You can. Most people would never even think to go to a place like Papua New Guinea, but you can do that a lot easier from the Philippines. Next, you can speak to the locals. While I was living overseas in Asia, I sat at my friend's husband's deathbed. I sat there and I tried to communicate with him. I tried to talk to him and share some things with him on his last moments, his last breaths. But our biggest struggle was communicating. My fleeting or pathetic attempt of speaking his language and his sad attempt of understanding English just simply broke that communication. You know, in the Philippines, many speak English. I would say most understand English, and many speak the language. Some might be nervous or they might be uncomfortable because maybe they're not used to speaking to Westerners or they're not used to speaking English, but they understand it. They can often text it or type it, and they will understand you. And so the simple communication with those in the Philippines is a unbelievable thing. Next, the dating life is much easier than that in the West. I did not say they are easy in the Philippines. What I said was that it is much easier to date in the Philippines. Why? Because even if you're denied, you're not belittled. You're not talked down to or shot down. They'll even shut you down or deny you, but they'll do it kindly. You can meet people in coffee shops and in stores or in restaurants or out on the street and in your neighborhood or at local community events and shopping centers and wet markets and different places like that. You could meet them locally and you could just talk to them. Next, you can date online. You can meet people online. There's many dating sites for that. You can also meet these people at community groups, such as for a certain career, and there's different websites for that where there might be groups to get ideas and to network together, and you can meet people at those. Next, you can have a higher quality of life for a fraction of the cost. That alone should sell you on moving to the Philippines, but I'll tell you, your quality of life will improve for a fraction of the cost. Not everything is cheap in the Philippines, but many things are. You know, this is Jeff with Philippines Through My Eyes. And if you have something you might add or you think might be helpful or a good idea of what maybe somebody might think behind why they maybe should move to the Philippines, make a comment below. But let me encourage you, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That'll be a help to me. That if you dislike it, hey, hit the thumbs down. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. What I want to know is if this is helpful for you. But do those things, and I hope to see you in the next one. Once again, this is Jeff with Philippines Through My Eyes. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.